Well, I hope everybody's having a great Saturday, a wonderful weekend. It is what we call Chamber of Commerce weather where I'm located. That's that when you're thinking about moving to a particular area or region of the country, and so you go on the official website for that town, that area, and they try to explain that nowhere else on the planet has the wonderful weather that they have. I call that Chamber of Commerce weather, and that's actually what we're enjoying right here where I am today. So we're going to give it just another second or two for people to get here. I am adjusting a new camera setup, so we'll take it from there. So we've had a couple of interesting things going on this week. Not only have we been hit with the fact that the recession that's not a recession is actually a recession, as we watch the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media first fall all over themselves to help Joe Biden redefine what a recession is. And then when the economic report finally comes out and we find out, yes, we have had the second quarter in a row of loss and non-growth in our gross domestic product, that first they tried to give the White House cover. They tried to explain that it may be a recession in the technical sense, but in reality, things are really just going swell. After all, this is really what Field Back Better looks like and feels like. It's all about we are going to come through this, and everything that Joe Biden did in his first few months in office worked so well, and so many millions of people went back to work that the economy has kind of taken a natural pause to let itself catch up. But when it does, we are going to be rip-roaring like never before, and I think they finally realize that the American people ain't buying it. They know it's nothing but pure bullhawk. They know the economy, what it was really rocking and rolling like under Donald J. Trump. And that's the reason that they're a little bit miffed that the January 6th hearings didn't have the wow factor they wanted it to have, and it really became like a sham wow. Remember that commercial? There's lots of those commercials, those guys that are coming out and they want to sell you things that can only be seen here on television, and if you act now, we'll send you not one but two, and you get it for some incredible price of like 6 payments of $29.95 each, and it's guaranteed, to stop cracks in your concrete from your house caving in, whatever the product is. But the ShamWow was the one I remember the most, where this will wash your car. It'll dry your car. You can mop your floors in your house with it. It's the Sham Wow. And, most people that fall for this, they get it, and then they realize how they've been had. And that's what people are like with the January 6th hearings. It was a sham wow. There was no real wow factor there. You got a bunch of people up there telling you, well, I heard from so-and-so who told me, like what's her name, who did a complete face plant on national television, that, Donald Trump lunged for the steering wheel of his limo and demanded to be taken to the Capitol. She wasn't there. The people who were there have absolutely said that did not happen. We want to testify. Amazing, though. This impartial tribunal is refusing to call them. But you got dillweeds like Bill Maher, who last night said that, these January 6 hearings have been incredible. We've learned so much. We haven't learned jack. What we have is a bunch of hearsay. And now you've got Merrick Garland ready to do the bidding of Joe Biden, and he's ready to bring criminal charges against Donald Trump, which again, Bill Maher thinks is a wonderful idea, and the Republicans would love it, and they will fall in line with it once it actually happens. These people are doped up on so many levels of delusional psychosis, it just staggers the imagination. If there was anything to charge Donald Trump with, they would have. This is meant to distract you from everything that's coming out about Hunter Biden and Joe, the big guy's connection to his son, and the fleecing they did of countries like Ukraine and China, selling influence, selling a seat at the table, allowing them to have a direct connection and a voice, and now the current administration. This is why we've got a proxy war going on with Russia over in the Ukraine. We're paying back the oligarchs who are paying Hunter Biden millions of dollars for his expert analysis on whatever it was he was supposed to be giving expert analysis on. You know, unless it was scoring crack and hose, I don't know anything that Hunter Biden's actually an expert on, other than banging his own brother's sister and making porn videos of her and leaving on his laptop for all to see. So that's the Biden family. These guys are just low-level scumbags, dirtbags, and lowlifes, and managed to scam their way into the Oval Office. And, you know, I can't say what really happened, but 2,000 mules might have something to do with it. That's all I'm saying. You take that for whatever you want. But let's back up here a little bit. The Joe Manchin played the Republicans big time, was not going to support Build Back Better because it's a bad economic decision, yada, 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 yada. But then, you know, he kind of, well, you know, we need this CHIPS Act. We need to be able to pump some money into manufacturing microchips and microprocessors right here in the United States. They're all being made overseas. And this is why, after the pandemic and the lockdowns, we've had this huge gap now in our supply chain issues. And this really puts us at a disadvantage militarily. Duh. That we design all these high-tech weapons that require chips to be able to operate, but all the chips are manufactured in places like China and Taiwan. Might that tell you why China's really interested in Taiwan? So we got to give Microsoft and all these software developers, we need to give them billions of dollars so that they manufacture these chips and these microprocessors right here. And Joe Manchin basically said to Mitch McConnell, hey, if you come along with us on this one, I will make sure that Build Back Better doesn't happen. So Mitch McConnell, like a dupe, and a handful of Republicans in the Senate took Joe Manchin at his word. They voted for the CHIPS Act. And right after that, Joe Manchin said, you know what? I'm going to vote for Build Back Better. See, the Republicans, they believed all the hype, all the hogwash that even members of the left media, for a while there, were going after Joe Manchin, calling him a Democrat obstructionist, and he was getting in the way of Joe Biden's initiatives and his legacy and his policies and what it was he wanted to do. No, he was playing the Republicans. I mean, right now, he is being given tequila and Havanas and a high five from Chuck E. Cheese Schumer and Nancy Botox Pelosi. He got Republicans to vote for the CHIPS Act, and now there is no obstruction. It is full speed ahead with Build Back Better. Kiss goodbye the fossil fuel industry. Kiss goodbye your 401k and any vestige of any type of you being able to make it and generate some wealth for you and your family. It is going to be nothing but the Green New Deal hogwash, and you are going to see inflation and prices go through the roof like you have never seen, courtesy of West Virginia Joe. Oh, and Mitch McConnell, the rhino. Now, the CHIPS Act. On the one hand, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. We are the ones that invented microprocessing. We are the ones that invented the chip technology. Why we were ever farming it out to places like China and Taiwan, other than the fact it was cheap labor. And yes, I understand we are a capitalist society. And yes, I understand that the bottom line for a corporation is to make money. But yet, there is some responsibility there about things like national security. See, here's the thing. They pumped billions now into the microtechnology industry. It's a corporate welfare bailout is exactly what it is. Here's the thing. There's no strings attached to it. There's no guarantees attached to it. In other words, there's nothing that says these microchip processing money that they've all been given have to be used on microchips made here. It's the one thing Bernie Sanders has been right about his entire life. We're giving away all of this money, and there's no oversight, and there's no safety nets in place. There's no guardrails in place to make sure that these software companies aren't using this money for things other than what we're intending it for. Does Congress have any kind of track record of oversight? And the answer is no. You know, we give $54 billion to Ukraine because we got to help Ukraine for their fight for democracy. They're not a democracy. Reporters and people who speak up against Zelensky, Wakinski, Barzinski, whatever ski, disappear in the middle of the night over there. He's got time he and his wife to pose for the cover of Vogue magazine. We give him billions in money to help him, and we're finding out that he's just enriching himself with offshore accounts. We gave them billions in our technology and in our military hardware to quote-unquote fight the Russians, and we're finding out that their oligarchs over there in Ukraine, their countries that we're not supposed to mention actually make up their army, are selling this equipment. And you know who they're selling it to? The Russians. Remember when Barackmas Obadamus had shovel-ready jobs, and we had to pump all these billions into a stimulus to get our economy rocking and rolling again? And then a couple of years later, at one of those White House press dinners, he stands up there and he kind of jokes, well, I guess those shovel-ready jobs weren't as shovel-ready as I thought. And everybody there laughed and applauded. Well, the president got off a joke. It is a joke. It's nothing more than the transfer of wealth from our tax dollars, your back-breaking labor and sweat, going into the hands of the rich elite, which is all the bailout during the pandemic was all about. It was the largest transfer of wealth in our history. And we're going to do it again now with the CHIPS Act. And there's no oversight, no regulation, nothing to stop these companies from taking these billions in bailout and just building more factories in Taiwan. Which is why China wants Taiwan, because he who holds the chips, your phone, your computer, your laptop, all of your smart technology from your TVs, everything, even your cars, all require this chip technology. And we're letting our enemies manufacture these things. We're letting our geopolitical rivals manufacture these things. Because it shows you the oligarchs, the ruling class, they don't give a flying flip about national sovereignty. They care about their power and their little global order. And, you know, that's why they hated the guy who said, "Make America great again." Are you figuring this all out as you go to the supermarket and can't afford anything now? We're stealing oil from Syria. That's why you're seeing the gas prices drop a little bit. And I promise you, as soon as the midterm elections are over, not only are they going to go back up, but they'll go up even higher because they'll have to make up for their benevolence. In the meantime, they're threatening now to go after and arrest Donald Trump. And nothing will happen to Joe Biden and that drug-addled son of his. This is why you need to stay plugged in, informed, engaged, and you need to scream this stuff from the house up. You're saying, but Pastor, what good is it going to do? What good is it going to do? You've got to keep talking it up because it does do good. The more that it gets out, the more that it gets exposed, the more that it gets talked about. Believe it or not, we have seen positive results from our pushback. So keep pushing. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for supporting this channel. Please get the word out. Share this link with your friends, because we certainly know YouTube isn't going to help us grow this channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you.